War leaves scars. Some you can see, some you carry inside you. But what if the memories that haunt you aren't yours? What if they belong to something else? Something that hasn't happened yet? During the final years of World War II, a field nurse began experiencing visions. Not dreams, not nightmares. Memories of a world that didn't exist. A world that shouldn't exist. A world where the war never ended. And something far worse came after. This is the unwanted memories. The air smelled of iron and antiseptic. Not clean, never clean. Just layered. Blood over disinfectant. Sweat over sickness. Death clinging to everything, no matter how much they tried to wash it away. Evelyn Hart moved quickly between cots. Her sleeves rolled, hands already stained. "Hold still," she said, voice steady despite the tremor in the young soldier beneath her hands. He couldn't have been more than 18. His leg was gone below the knee. His eyes were wide. Not from pain, from something else. "They're still coming," he whispered. Evelyn paused. "Who is?" But he didn't answer. His eyes drifted past her, like he was seeing something behind her. Something that wasn't there. It happened that night. Evelyn was washing her hands. The water ran red for a moment longer than it should have. Then, black, thick, like oil. She blinked, and it was gone. Just water again. Clear, normal. Evelyn stared at her hands. "I need sleep," she whispered. But it wasn't a dream, because dreams fade. This didn't. She was standing in a city. Not London, not Paris. Something else. Taller, colder. Massive concrete structures stretched into the sky, blocking out the sun. Screens flickered across every surface, and on every one of them, a face. Older, harsher, but unmistakable. Adolf Hitler. His voice echoed through the streets, distorted slightly, amplified beyond anything natural. The world stands united under one will. People moved below. Uniform. Silent. Eyes forward. No resistance. No emotion. Just obedience. Evelyn turned slowly. Her breath caught. There were no allies. No opposing flags. Only one symbol. Everywhere. She woke up screaming. The tent around her snapped back into existence. Canvas. Dim light. The distant sound of artillery. Real. This was real. She grabbed her chest, breathing hard. "It was just a dream," she whispered. But her voice didn't believe it.
"It came during surgery. A man bleeding out on the table. Evelyn pressing down, trying to stop it. And then, she wasn't there anymore. She was somewhere else. A sterile room.
White. Too white. Machines lined the walls. Sleek, unfamiliar. A man sat strapped to a chair. Thin. Broken. A symbol burned into his arm. The same one from the dream. A voice spoke behind her. "You will comply." Evelyn turned. But before she could see, she was back. The soldier beneath her hands was dead. "You're pushing yourself too hard." Dr. Klein watched her carefully. His expression was calm. Too calm. "I'm fine," Evelyn said quickly. But her hands were shaking. He noticed. Of course he did. "You've been seeing things, haven't you?" Evelyn froze. "What do you mean?" He stepped closer, lowered his voice. "You're not the first." Her stomach dropped. "What?" Klein glanced around before continuing. "Some of the soldiers, they talk before they die." Evelyn's chest tightened. "They describe things. Cities that don't exist. Machines we've never built." He hesitated. "And him." He didn't say the name. He didn't have to. "They all say the same thing," Klein continued. "That the war doesn't end." Evelyn shook her head.
"No, that's impossible." Klein's eyes darkened. "Is it?" They came faster after that. Stronger. More detailed. No longer flashes. Experiences. She saw trains filled not with soldiers, but with prisoners.
She saw cities rebuilt into something colder, more controlled, more final. And always, him, watching, older, alive. One night, the vision changed. She wasn't watching anymore. She was being watched, standing in a dark room. A screen flickered on, and there he was, looking directly at her. Not at a crowd, not at a nation, at her. "You can see it," he said. Evelyn couldn't move. "You're not supposed to," he continued. Her breath caught. "This isn't real," she whispered. His expression didn't change. "It will be." The words landed like a weight. "You are remembering," he said. Before it happened, Evelyn screamed as the vision collapsed. She hit the ground hard, back in the hospital. Soldiers rushed to her. Voices shouted, but all she could hear, all she could think, was that voice, that certainty. That night, Evelyn sat alone, hands trembling, mind racing, because the visions weren't random. They weren't madness. They were consistent, detailed, real. And if they were real, then the war didn't end. It only changed. Evelyn wasn't the only one anymore. She saw it in their eyes. The patients, the soldiers, even the orderlies. That same distant look, that same flicker of something not here. "They're coming," one man whispered as she changed his bandages. Evelyn froze. "Who is?" The man turned to her slowly, his face pale, his lips cracked, but his voice too certain. They already won. Reality began to slip, not all at once, in moments, fragments. The hospital tent flickered, just for a second, and became something else. Metal. Cold white walls, rows of identical beds, no voices, no pain, just silence. Then it snapped back. Canvas, blood, war. Evelyn staggered, gripping the table. No, but it kept happening. More often now. Longer. Dr. Klein found her that morning. "You need to see this," he said quietly. He led her into a small storage tent, closed the flap behind them, and pulled out a folder. Inside, pages, dozens of them, handwritten, descriptions of the same things she had seen, the same city, the same symbols, the same man. Evelyn's hands shook as she flipped through them. These are mine." Klein shook his head. "No, they're from soldiers who died weeks ago. They all described the same future," Klein said. "The same world." Evelyn looked up. "That's not possible." Klein didn't answer right away. Instead, he asked, "What if it's not a future?" Silence. Evelyn's stomach dropped. "What if it's already happened?" Klein continued. "What if we're the ones who are behind?" Evelyn shook her head violently. "No, that doesn't make sense. Time doesn't..." "Then explain the consistency," he said sharply. "Explain how dozens of dying men saw the exact same world." Evelyn couldn't, because deep down she already knew. That night, the vision didn't wait. It came for her. She was pulled into it, fully. No transition, no warning, just gone. The city loomed around her again. But this time, it was clearer, sharper, more real. The air felt cold in her lungs. The ground solid beneath her feet. This wasn't a memory anymore. This was something else. The streets were empty, not abandoned, clear. Like something was expected. Evelyn turned slowly and saw them. Figures lining the buildings. Watching, not moving, just waiting. The massive screen flickered to life again. His face appeared. Older, colder. But now, there was no distortion, no distance. He looked directly at her. "You've come further than the others," he said. Evelyn's voice trembled. "This isn't a vision." He smiled faintly. "No." Her chest tightened. "And what is it?" A pause. And then, Connection. You are not seeing the future, he continued. You are remembering it. Evelyn's mind real. That's impossible. I'm here. I'm in the war. Are you? He asked softly. The world around her flickered. For a moment, she saw herself, not as she was, but older, thinner, standing in that same city, wearing a uniform she didn't recognize. A symbol burned into her arm. Her breath caught. No. You lived this, he said. You all did. Evelyn stumbled backward. That's not true.
You lost, he continued. The words hit like a hammer. And then you forgot. The city warped, collapsed, shifted, and suddenly she understood.
This wasn't a timeline. It was a cycle, a reset, a chance to do it again. But something had gone wrong. The memories hadn't stayed buried. You were not meant to remember, he said, his voice sharper now, colder. And yet, here you are. Evelyn's fear hardened into something else. Resolve. Show me this. He leaned closer. Because it changes nothing. The world shattered again. Evelyn collapsed back into the hospital. Gasps. Voices. Hands pulling her up. But everything felt distant. Muted. Because she knew now. None of this, none of it, was guaranteed to matter. Days later, Evelyn sat alone, writing, filling pages with everything she'd seen, everything she remembered. If this was a loop, then maybe this would carry forward, a warning, a chance. Her hand trembled as she wrote the final line. We have lost before. Then she added, do not forget. History tells us the past is fixed, that what happened is over. But what if it isn't? What if time doesn't move forward, but circles back? What if the future you fear has already happened, and the only thing standing between now and then is whether you remember? If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because some stories aren't just stories. They're warnings. Sleep well, and don't ignore the memories that don't belong to you.